Hello and welcome back to Disneyland. I'm Professor Toybox. I've got Joy with me, and today we're going to put the finishing touches on my Main Street USA toy box. If you've ever been to Disneyland, you'll notice the one thing that's missing here are the trees behind the buildings. The landscape designers at Disneyland use trees as barriers to help separate the different areas of the park, and the trees make it look like the world extends beyond what you see, and they also help hide other neighboring areas of the park so that each area of the park is its own self-contained little world. And so as we get started, I'm going to begin over here behind these railroad tracks, and we're going to pick up the railroad track here and drop it, and I'm going to extend this beyond the edge of the world here, just so it looks like these train tracks go somewhere. And then we're going to obscure those with some plants. And so we're going to come down to this end first, and I want to put these down at ground level, so about right there. And for this first one, we'll put this over here with a little sprig of the tree sticking up in the far left corner there. And we're going to put this out about like that, about half a block out away from the train track and the building. So just like that. And then the next one, we're going to come in and bring this up as close as we can get to the track there. And we're going to turn this like that. Okay. And then we'll come over here and drop another one, like so. And another one. Let's see. I think that's the way that's got to go. Oh, I'll have to put that out just a little bit. And it doesn't quite matter, usually, where you put these trees, but I really want this to line up. Oh, because I didn't have those other blocks there before. Okay, so we'll do it there, and we'll do another one then over here, rotated slightly. Okay, and I'm going to slide this one over just a tad. And the reason I'm doing this is because these trees, when I style them, are going to cover up these tracks, and so it'll look like the tracks go off through the trees. And so that's why I'm making such a fuss over those particular trees. Now, before I style those, I want to put in all of the trees, because it'll be a lot more difficult to fit these in once I style these, because the bounding box on these trees will change. So I'm going to put one over here off the corner of this building. And now if I keep this at ground level, it's going to be hidden by this building here. And so we're going to raise this up and put it up about like that. Except I want it off to the side here a little bit. And we'll rotate it so it doesn't quite match the same orientation as the tree next to it. We'll put it out away from the building just a little bit. And then the next one we'll come over and put behind this one. And the next one we'll put down on this little block and rotate like that. Okay. And then over here we'll put down another one. And you want to space these out. You don't want to put in too many of these, but you need some. We'll drop this one back down to ground level. And I'll rotate it. We'll leave it like that. And then I'm going to put one in the little corner here. And if you put them about half a block out like that, if you put them too close, then the foliage is going to be right into the building, and you don't really want to do that. But you want to kind of spread these out a little. And again, it doesn't really matter exactly where you put these. You just want to spread them out a little bit, and you don't want them too thick because that'll use up memory, and that's not a good thing to use up too much memory. There we are. And so now let's see what these look like for this side of the street once we style them. And so I'm going to come into the styling menu, and we're going to go left to the Briar Ridge Terrain 3. And I'm going to apply that. Now you can see the bounding box grew, which is why I placed all these trees first. You'll also notice that the foliage overlaps that building ahead of it, on side of it there, and that's all right. And the foliage overlaps those train tracks, and that's okay. And yeah, that would be a problem if this were a real train. The train couldn't get through. But the point isn't so much a train getting through as it is covering up the fact that those tracks don't go anywhere. You can see the trees form a nice little barrier there. And now it kind of looks like the train tracks go off somewhere at a glance, but of course they don't. But the trees help hide that fact. And then we're just going to go around and style each of these plants. And I could have just had you go ahead and style these offline, but I'm going to actually go ahead and do this because I want you to see what a difference this makes to the toy box when you do this. And you're not going to get that effect if I only style just a few of these. There we go. All right. Now, let's take a look from the perspective where we started over here. And let's see, remembering how this looked at the start of the video, see how this looked. And that makes a huge difference. As you can see, it really adds a boundary, and it kind of makes the world look like it goes beyond just what you see with these buildings. And so that is a very huge thing. And now it's starting to look a lot more like the Disneyland that we know. So I like that a lot. And even when you come down here from ground level, that just looks so much better. And even coming through here and looking from the front of the tiki room, you got some trees back there. You got some trees behind it. So that just looks really good. And it kind of looks like there could be a jungle cruise back there behind all of that. So I like that a lot. So now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And I may not style all of these trees, but you got the idea now at least. So let's start again with the train tracks over here, and we'll put this down to ground level. And don't worry about the fact that the trees here are kind of floating in space. Ground-based characters are never going to see that, and so that's fine. And as far as, put that about a half a block out, and as far as flying characters go, I'm not really too worried about that. Because again, just adding terrain here is going to really cover this up. Well, it'll look like the... let me start that again. Adding the terrain underneath these plants will make it look like the plants are sitting on something, but it'll be a lot of empty terrain, and it's just wasted memory in my opinion. So let's go like that, and then we'll go like that. So I've got a little bit different finishing touch over there on that one. All right, and then we'll put a tree behind this building. Again, set it back about a half a block off, and we'll rotate this one with the tree out that way. Nope, out that way. Sorry. I was looking at my screenshot wrong. And we'll put another one over here and rotate that. Put one behind this little short building. Rotate that. Put one here in this corner. And I won't rotate that, just have it be a little different. And let's see, we'll put this one out like this. Put another one right here. Like that. Don't want it to be too predictable. One on the corner here. One back here like this. We're going to tuck a couple of them back over here because we got this gap. So we'll put one in here. Let's see. I think I put it like that. And we're spacing them out just a little bit. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Main thing is just creating the barrier behind the buildings, at least from what it looks like at street level. Yeah, like that. And then that should be solid buildings there, but I'm saving memory by not filling that area in. So I don't want to put the tree up in that crack area. We'll leave it back here. So from ground level, it looks like the buildings are solid there over in this area. And we'll put one more tree over here, like that. All right, so let's see what this looks like with the train tracks on this end. There, that really looks like that, like those train tracks are completely enveloped in the foliage, so that's good. And just like before, you're going to go along here and just style all of these to be just like those. And I won't bore you with that because you've already seen me do that and you know what to do. Next little area that we want to address is this area. And this is where the parade would disappear to. And they would come around down Main Street and around the town square here and then disappear back over here. And so there's usually some gates that are here covering this up. So we want to make sure that we put these in to hide where the parade disappears to. And it also creates a little hidden area back here. And the gates we're going to use are these double doors, automatic double door and automatic single door in the gameplay toys drawer. And we're going to drop these back here like this with the bounding box facing away. So you'll have to walk right up to the door to get it to open. Just walking past the door won't open it. So a double and a single right next to each other. And that helps hide that area back there. So that's good. And next little thing I want to do, over here when I had routed this this thing last time, and I had moved this piece of plant bordering, that left this block out here, which we don't really need, so I'm going to delete that, and that'll save just a little bit of memory. And with that, I believe we're pretty much done. So yeah, when you're standing over here, you don't see that little block anyway, so there's no point in using up the memory for that. Okay, the build exercise for this toy box is done. So next week, we'll start working on the logic for this toy box, beginning with the Astro Orbiter ride here at the entrance to Tomorrowland. Until then, I want to thank you for watching, and if you like how this toy box is turning out, and you're enjoying this series so far, I'd be grateful if you hit the like button and leave a comment to let me know. I can always use the encouragement. And you can also subscribe to my channel, and as long as your notifications are on, you'll always know whenever I upload a new video. That's all for me today. Take care.